In the confusion following the assassination, the police arrested a dozen suspects in and around Dealey Plaza. All were later released. 3 of those taken into custody were discovered in the marshalling yards close to the book depository, hiding in a railroad boxcar which was about to leave the area. No official record exists of who they were or what they were doing, yet their arrest was widely photographed by the press. They have become known as the 3 Tramps.
It was determined in late 1970s and early 1980s that one of the 3 tramps, the taller of the 3, bore a striking resemblance to a man by the name of Charles Harrelson, who was convicted of killing a federal judge in San Antonio, Texas. A man who claims to have killed at least 5 people previously, has been tried for some of those, and a man who has all of the right connections.
Charles Harrelson is one of America's most notorious criminals. He's currently serving a life sentence for murder in a maximum security jail.
On November 22nd, 1963, I was with a friend at 12:30 in the afternoon having lunch in a restaurant in Houston, Texas. It wouldn't be the first time I've been accused of being somewhere I wasn't, and it probably won't be the last. But no, I did not kill John Kennedy.
He's connected to organized crime figures, the Dallas Underworld, Santos Traficante, Carlos Marcello, R.D. Matthews, considered the strong-arm man in Dallas in 1963, and Ruby claimed that he was his best friend. So you have all of these connections, and though they don't say specifically, hey, Charles Harrelson is guilty of participating in the murder of the President Kennedy, but there is significant evidence that would make, I think, any investigator want to look at Mr. Harrelson very, very closely.
That is a photograph of one of 3 so-called tramps who were apprehended and then mysteriously disappeared on the day of the Kennedy assassination. And the fellow was, I'm told, at one time positively identified as myself, which is ludicrous if you look at the man. I was 25 the day Kennedy was assassinated, and I would say that gentleman is probably in his mid to late 30s at the very least. But the facial structures isn't even close.
Mr. Harrelson's photograph was given along with the tall tramp photographs to forensic anthropologists, 2 independent bodies or people, and they came back with a report that there was a 90 to 95% probability that the photograph of the tall tramp arrested in connection with the president's killing and Charles V. Harrelson arrested for the death of a federal judge were one and the same.
Now that's amazing, isn't it? I would say that is closer, much closer, but I'm sure that here again, the person is probably in his 30s, and the brow ridge isn't the same here, but it does look it looks a lot more like me, I would say, this view than does the other. Are they the same person?
Yeah.
Big Bird?
Yes.
It's amazing. But no, I don't know the gentleman, and never did know. Everyone who was involved in that thing has been eliminated. Had I been involved in it, I would have been killed. Had I been approached to be involved in it, I would have laughed. Because it's obviously a case of immolation. You're going to destroy yourself by doing something like that, because the agency involved in carrying out this assassination cannot have someone with first-hand information regarding the assassination. No way. The country would destruct if that came forth.
Also kept under wraps and not investigated was the criminal underworld of strip club owner Jack Ruby, Oswald's executioner.